Hey, so I just need to send this message out to the universe right now. I need to send this message out to people. I've held it internally, mentally for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. So I've been on this like spiritual journey / awakening where I've been feeling more close to God and my higher power than ever in my life, and I feel like I truly understand the power that God holds, and I feel like my faith has been strengthened. I feel like my faith is a lot more strong than it was before. So as I sit here at SFO, I'm driving for Lyft right now, but I have a break. And I know the guy next to me in his car thinks I'm crazy, but I have a quiet moment right now, so I have to share this. I have to share the miracles and the faith and the dedication that God has shown in my life. And when I say God, like to you, that could be your higher power, whatever religion you subscribe to, you can apply it in that way. But for me, I'm just going to use God with a capital G. Period. Poo. So yeah, God is like, you need to start talking. Like, you need to do this now. So I'm listening. And every time that he has told me to do something or given me a sign, I've listened. Anytime I had like a small amount of doubt, he immediately turned that around and just made my faith stronger, because he proved me wrong every single time. And so now I just cannot doubt the magnitude of his capacity and his ability and his guidance in my life. And I have to share this because I need someone to hear this, and I know somebody needs to hear this. I'm not a saint. I'm not a preacher. I am far from it. I don't go to church every Sunday, but I am very close. I didn't get to finish that, but I'm very close to God, and I feel like I have an in-depth understanding of him. And I know someone else is yearning for that. And so I'm just using any avenue, any vessel, whether it's social media, word of mouth, whatever. I need to say this, because for a long time I was scared and ashamed, even though I always attributed my blessings to God. I'm not scared to talk about God anymore. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the scientific theory of entropy. So I've always been very, very fascinated with this physical constraint. I'll say it's a term used in physics. Entropy is basically the universe's tendency to fall into chaos or destruction. So just by default, the world is always falling into disorder. It's always falling into chaos. It's always falling into destruction. And that's just a law. It's a scientific fact that we all submit to. And so I always grappled with that idea, and I never understood why. Like, why am I so caught in this idea of entropy? Like, I think I just was upset that I couldn't change it. I was always like living in fear. So I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder in 2017, and so I always lived like a fearful life, and I think a lot of you know what OCD is. You associate it with cleaning, and it's more than that. It's so much more, which I'm not going to get into, but I just lived a life of fear, but I was always faithful to God. And so it occurred to me the other night that although there's nothing I can do to stop the natural tendency for the universe to fall into chaos, even though I can't control that, I can't change the law of physics. I let that go recently one night when I finally, I guess it was a eureka moment. I don't know, divine intervention. I don't know what you want to call it. But it just clicked. The only one who can break the law of physics that he created is God. We're bound by our human bodies. We're bound by our human knowledge, which is very limited when you compare it to the knowledge of your higher power. We can know and make advances in science. We can have revolutions. We can make technology better every day, but it still is unmatched when you compare it to the wisdom, the glory, the mercy, the knowledge of God. Only God can break those physical bounds that He created. Only He can break those. We can't break those. And so once I realized, like, I've been tussling with this idea of entropy, and I've struggled with OCD, and chaos just gives me anxiety. Mental chaos, physical clutter, germs, challenges in life, changes circumstances that I can't control. I always wrestled with these things. Once I finally had this aha moment, I had an immediate call from God. I had an immediate urge to share it. And so it took me a while to build up the courage, but here I am. And sorry, if it totally makes sense. This is just my perception of how to let go of the concept of control and leaving it up to someone else, which hopefully is your higher power or God, or however you want to put it, however, whatever works for you. God has filled my life with so much abundance, and I am so grateful. Every time I've prayed in the last few months, He's answered all my questions, all my prayers. And that doesn't mean He's always going to give you what He wants. What you want. But there's a time for everything, and there's a season for everything. And I am at a point at 27 where I don't coincidences. That's not a real word in my in my life. That's not a part of my vocabulary. To me, there are no coincidences in life. And if I attribute something great that happened to my life as a coincidence, I am dismissing and minimizing the power that God has had in my life. His power is so much greater than a coincidence, and I know that everything has happened for a reason. And that brings so much peace of mind in my life. And so since I've found this newfound peace of mind, I have no other option but to share it and hope that and pray that it helps somebody. It helps me. It makes me feel like I'm doing my job in this world, and I have a pretty good idea of what God wants me to do. And I'm just so grateful. He's given me a new job that I love very much, and I finally feel motivated to go back to school because of this job. And this last month I've been driving for Lyft, like after work, and He's just been so abundant. I've been my goal every week is to make $700, and this is after work. This is my second time meeting that goal, and this is working no more than 21 hours. Last week I was making $39 per hour, an average. Anyways, that's just the monetary side, which is surface level, and I don't want anyone to get too attached to anything. It's just like a face value. It's only to get access to things. That's what money is. It's a token system. But it does buy you. You can buy things that make you happy, and it does give you ample opportunity and access to resources. But there's other ways that God can instill and implement abundance in your life. Maybe you're not seeing it, but it can be through love. It can be through physical touch. It can be through your neighbor giving you a gift. There's so many ways for abundance to manifest. And to wrap this up, I really hope that somebody understood this, and I hope that it helps someone. I'm in a point in my life where I feel like I really understand myself, and so I'm just so grateful. I'm far from perfect. I'm still figuring things out. But I just needed somebody to know what God can do in your life when you acknowledge Him and you seek Him and you relish in the love, because it's there, and be gracious. So I'll end it there, and I love you, and I'm just sending out power, loving and positive energy, and love one another. Love your family members, love your friends, because we're only here one time, and it's short in the grand scheme of things. Love each other. Give someone a hug, a kiss, give a gift. That's it.